What is going on? What is going on, everybody? Y'all know who it is. It is your boy Darion coming to y'all live with another video. It is the Spotlight Sports Talk, and we are here with another video to break down the NBA playoffs, which we're going to start with the Eastern Conference Finals of the Toronto Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks playoff series preview. Now, they took slightly different paths to get to the East, but the top two teams are now set in the Eastern Conference Finals, and many expected it all season. For the first time, these two franchises will meet in a postseason since 2017. Now, we both all know that the Raptors in Milwaukee end up taking care of business in the second round of the playoffs, and the Eastern Conference is now set. So now the destination for the NBA Finals is here, y'all. So game one is going to go down of the Eastern Conference Finals will take place 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday, May 15th. The broadcast schedule for this series has not been released yet, but let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and talk about this series. Now, what we're going to do is go into the recap of the season series to give y'all a little bit what we got going on, what they got going on going into this series. So the result of the season series, the Bucks did win 3-1. They won 3 games to 1, and this is a possibility it can still be like this, but I don't see it being like this. But the Bucks did win this series 3-1. Now, the best game that actually went down between these two teams was on January 5th, 2019, when the Raptors did win 123-116. And Giannis, even with the loss, still had a great game on January 5th, which was in this same game. He had 43 points. He was 16 for 25 from the field goal, 18 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Now, the first meeting between the Raptors and the Bucks in this season came early with both teams, but both were 6-0. Giannis Antetokounmpo with the concussion and Kawhi Leonard rest, and he didn't play in that game either. But Milwaukee crushed the Raptors 124-109, and behind a balanced effort saw from 7 players scored in double figures, knowing that you had Serge Ibaka led the Raptors scoring that night with 30 points, and Siakam chipped in with 22 points. Now, the second meeting was much closer, but the end result was the same. Behind a 19-point, 19-rebound double-double from Antetokounmpo, the Bucks defeated the Raptors 104-99. Now, Kyle Lowry struggled in the loss and going scoreless 0 for 5 from the field. But we're not surprised with Kyle Lowry, because Kyle Lowry, he just don't show up. He just don't show up for me. He doesn't do nothing for me at all. I don't think he's a factor in that starting 5. Just my personal opinion there. But the Raptors did pick up a lone win against the Bucks on January 5th, what turned out to be the best game between the two teams in that season, when Leonard and Siakam had led the Raptors in scoring with 30 points each. But they got scoring, punched from Ibaka with 25, Danny Green with 12, Van Vliet with 21, and the latter, who started place with Kyle Lowry, who was dealing with a back injury. The 5 of them helped Toronto overcome 43 points, 18 rebounds, 4 assists from Antetokounmpo to beat the Bucks 123-116. But the Bucks have some revenge in the final game of the season, winning by a final score 105-102 at the Scotia Bank Arena. It was a team effort once again, and 7 players scored double figures, including DJ Wilson with 16, George Hill with 10, coming off the bench. Now, my question is this number one thing: can the Raptors contain Giannis Antetokounmpo? It's going to be tough to really try to stop him, but the Raptors will have their hands full trying to slow him down. Antetokounmpo, who was averaging 27.4 points, 11 rebounds, and 4.4 assists a game in these playoffs. And the Bucks have built a team around Antetokounmpo that plays perfectly to his strengths, surrounding him with shooters to give him space that he needs to attack the paint, where he leads in the league in scoring this year. Now, Antetokounmpo is a matchup nightmare for every team, because he's too big and strong for the perimeter players to guard, and he's too quick and athletic, and a big man stay in front of him. Double teaming him is risky as well. Not only Antetokounmpo capable of being a great passer, but the Bucks made the attempt to second most 3-pointers in the league this season. Trailing only Houston Rockets is the only player on the Milwaukee roster is comfortable with shooting the three. Even Brook Lopez, who set the record for threes made by a center in the regular season. So who the Raptors would take responsibility on defending Antetokounmpo? Siakam might be a matchup with the MVP candidate on this season, followed by Kawhi Leonard and Anunoby. But I don't know if Anunoby is going to be able to come back for this game, so I really don't know. But we do have some things. We do have some other stuff as well. So in the other series where the Raptors would miss Anunoby, if he's unable to play, they will still be, it still wouldn't be a primary defender on Antetokounmpo. Toronto will benefit greatly from having another wing who can match up with him physically, especially now Siakam is dealing with an injury. Now, not thinking this, Anunoby is now traveling with the Raptors for the first time since undergoing an emergency surgery, but still no update when he's expected to return. Now, it's three players that you need to watch for. And one of them is Kawhi Leonard. Versus the Milwaukee Bucks in 2018-2019 in 3 games, Kawhi Leonard has averaged 22 points. He was 42.6 from the field. He was 30% from the 3-point line and 81% from free throws. He had 7.7 rebounds and 4 assists, averaging against the Milwaukee Bucks in 2018 and 2019 in the 3 games. The Bucks did a better job defending Leonard this season than most teams, limited him to 22 points a game and 42% shooting from the field. But Leonard was a fantastic in Toronto with a team high 30 points, but he could score. He scored a total of 36 in the other 2 contestants where he appeared in. But then you have Chris Middleton, who was a primary reason that Leonard didn't play as usual standard. He limited the 3-time All-Star to 36 points on 11 of 27 shooting from the field over the last 3 games. Now, Aaron Gordon, I know he's not really part of the spark here, but Aaron Gordon has similar success against Leonard based on the matchup data. But Leonard torched him in the Magic in the first round, averaging 27.8 points a game. And will Leonard be able to do the same against a Bucks team that has the best defensive rating in the league this season? All of this is really going to come down to this series. What can the Bucks do to stop Kawhi Leonard? And then the second person that you really need to look for is Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton versus Toronto averaged 14 points. He was 47.6 from the field. He was 42.9 from the 3-point line and 63% from the free throw line, averaging 6.5 assists and 5.3 rebounds. But the Bucks will need Middleton to be a star on both ends of the court against the Raptors. In addition to having to defend Leonard, who is one of the best players in these playoffs, and he having the best playoff run of his career, they'll need to be some secondary playmaker. He was just against the Pistons in the first round and in the Celtics in the second round. He was posted 19.1 points a game, 4.6 assists per game, while Middleton failed to score 20 in any of the Bucks' 4 meetings with the Raptors. His impact was clearly felt either the aspects of the game like defense and playmaking. 2 of Middleton's 3 best games, it was as a facilitator against Toronto, where he dished out 9 assists on January 5th loss with 8 assists in the win on October 29th. Now, the regular season suggests Middleton doesn't necessarily need to be a scorer, but he needs to be, to help advance the Raptors, to pass the Raptors, but his playmaking abilities can go a long way. And the third person that I say that it needs to happen is Marc Gasol. Now, Marc Gasol, only in the 2 games that he played, mind you, Marc Gasol was traded mid-season from the Memphis Grizzlies to the Toronto Raptors, which it was a great pickup. So, against Milwaukee in the 2 games that Marc Gasol did play, he had 21.5 points. He was 48.4 from field goals, 50% from 3, and 71% from free throw, with 4.5 rebounds and 3.5 assists. Now, Gasol is a big reason why the Raptors are in the Eastern Conference Finals, but it could be a tough series for him. Whether it's, Vucevic or it's Joel Embiid, they both back to the basket centers, but which better plays with his strength as a defender? Lopez, like Lopez does not, do the most scoring from the three. He does the most scoring from the 3-point line, but he attempted 6.3 3-pointers per game and shot 36.5% from distance. Now, Lopez hasn't shot all through the 2 rounds of these playoffs, but having him on the floor will force Gasol to cover far more ground than he did against the Magic and the 76ers. Unless the Raptors can do better matching up for Gasol, perhaps Antetokounmpo will have allowed him to stay closer in the paint, and Ibaka might Toronto's be go-to center in this series. My prediction for this, I really like Milwaukee in this series. I like Toronto too, and I'm not trying to be biased here. And I feel like Toronto is going to. I think they don't have enough rest for me. I think Milwaukee has the rest to take game 1. But I don't see Toronto winning this series. The reason why I don't see Toronto winning this series is because there's nobody else helping them. I think they cannot get away with just Kawhi Leonard and Siakam doing it by themselves, where their bench is not doing it. Because now, if the Milwaukee Bucks bench gets good and they start to get that momentum, then Toronto's going to have problems, because your bench finally stepped up in a game 7 where they was a no-show. All the 76ers series. Now, Milwaukee took care of business against a great Boston Celtics team with a Kyrie Irving and a Jason Tatum and a Horford and Jaylen Brown and them boys. But Kawhi Leonard is going to need more than just Kawhi Leonard to win this series. Siakam is just going to need more than Siakam and Kawhi Leonard to win this series. Gasol's got to get in double figures. Ibaka's got to do what he got to do. Kyle Lowry got to show his face, because I don't understand how he's an all-star and he never shows up in the playoffs. I'm not a Raptors hater. I'm just seeing what it was from Kyle Lowry every time he gets to the playoffs. But for Toronto to win this series, the supporting cast has to show up. There's no way around it. The supporting cast have to show up, and they have to do what's best for the team, and that's play off of Kawhi Leonard and Siakam. Now, Gasol, we know Gasol is a big guy, and he could play the right positions. He could shoot the 3. He could do this. He could do that. But it's Antetokounmpo's a little bit quicker and a little bit faster than him. But on the flip side, you can't be mad at the Milwaukee Bucks either, because the Milwaukee Bucks, they just can't use Antetokounmpo just to win this series. You're going to need Middleton. You're going to need Bledsoe. You're going to need Lopez. You're going to need these guys. It's going to be all about the supporting cast on who's going to win this series. And I'm going to edge it to Milwaukee. And I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased towards Milwaukee because they beat my 76, because the Raptors beat my 76ers last night. I'm not doing that, and I won't say that, because the Raptors, they won the game. They won a game against us, and that's far gone right now. 6 is a tone packet. That's just what it is. But I feel like Milwaukee is just the better team. I love what Kawhi's doing in his playoffs. He's been playing dominant. Him and Siakam has been showing up. But the question is, can the supporting cast keep up with Milwaukee's supporting cast? So I do have this going into 7 games. I was kind of mad on my live stream last night and said that the Milwaukee Bucks would sweep the Toronto Raptors. But just looking at the breakdown and looking at how this series went in the regular season, the Bucks did get them 3-1. But I feel like Milwaukee is going to get more than just 1 game out of this series. I think they're going to get about 2 or possibly 3 games out of this series. But I still have Milwaukee Bucks winning this series and going to the NBA Finals coming out of the East. So let me know what y'all think about my preview of this conference finals. Let me know what y'all think. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It is the Spotlight Sports Talk, and I'll see y'all in the next video.